out its plans to give MPs a say on allowing prisoners the right to vote. The European Court of Human Rights has ruled that the UK's current ban on prisoners voting is unlawful.
Europe, Europe, Europe. Europe, Europe, Europe. If it's not one thing, it's another. I sometimes wish Ernie hadn't won quite so many cups. Auntie Marjorie used to call me a golf widow. Now I just feel like a widow. How can you feel like a widow when your husband's not dead? Ernie. Till death us do part. It was a lovely day. Such a lovely spread. Bridge roll, strawberries and cream. Ernie's parents even got us a bottle of champagne. I remember it as if it was yesterday. I remember it better than yesterday. I always wanted Sarah to wear my dress when she got married, but she didn't wear my dress or get married. I hope there's enough biscuits in the tin. Not that she eats much. She'll be able to tell me. She'll be able to tell me what he's doing, how he is. Ernie. He wrote to me the other day, but I could hardly make out his writing. It's got even worse since his stroke. I could barely make it out. If only I could see him. But I call him every day at 11 o'clock, just before they take him down to the lounge. Hello? Hello, Ernie? Ernie, it's Hilda. Hilda, your wife. How are you? Speak up, darling. Good. What have you been doing? No, I didn't quite get that. No. It's no good. Oh, Ernie, please don't cry. No, I'll talk to you soon. It'll be all right. Oh, Ernie, don't. No, I'll try to see you soon. It'll be all right, Ernie. It'll be all right. Lots of love. Oh, Sarah, I don't know what to do. He was mumbling down the phone. I didn't know what he was saying. He's getting worse. He needs me there, I'm sure.
I know.
Did you see him yesterday?
Yes.
And?
And?
How was he?
Same as ever.
Is he over his cold?
Nearly.
What did he say?
Mum, you know.
No, what?
He never says much.
I phoned him just now.
I know.
You know? How?
I came in when you were finishing your call.
Oh, he was very upset. I didn't know what to say. If I was there, I'd know.
Mum, we've been over this. As soon as social services make their decision, they will decide what to do.
I'm sorry, my hands are tied.
But they've been married nearly 60 years.
I know.
You must be able to do something.
The problem is they've got different needs.
But their main
Your
need,
dad's got complex needs.
their main
And
need
your mum's just got a mobility issue.
is to be together.
And the homes have got their criteria. There's nothing I can do about that.
They've never been apart before.
You have to understand.
But I don't understand. I visit him every week and I still don't understand what he's trying to say, what he wants.
I'm sorry.
But she would understand. My mum would understand him. That doesn't mean we have to take it lying down.
You're always so militant, you and your lefty drama group, never
I'd rather
content.
be militant than a doormat.
I'm not.
If it wasn't for my lefty drama group
I know. That playground would have closed down.
and all those kids would have been stuck indoors with nowhere to play.
Saint Sarah. So what do you suggest?
Mum will never accept it.
Yes, but what are you going to do about it?
Shouldn't you say, what are we going to do about it? She's your mother too. The truth is, I don't know yet.
What don't you know?
Oh, don't worry, Mum, we were just chatting.
Just chatting about.
Actually, we were just talking about you.
Oh, but it can wait.
No, I don't
How
think...
about a cup of tea?
Yes, of course, shall I make it?
No, I meant, shall I make you a cup of tea?
Oh, that would be lovely.
And you won't talk about anything until I get back, will you, Richard?
So, Mum, how's things?
It'll be fine when I get into Sunset Home. I'm so worried about your dad. He can never find his glasses. He'll be wanting to read the golf news in the paper, and he'll be sitting there with nothing to do because I'm not there to find his glasses. And when he's got nothing to do, he starts picking at his scabs. Well, Sarah told me he gashed his leg last week when he walked into a bedpost, and he sits there, he'll be sitting there, picking at his scabs until they bleed. Well, I can't bear to think of him sitting there all on his own bleeding.
Who's bleeding?
Ernie.
What?
No one's bleeding. Mum's just expecting the worst.
The better for worse, that's what we said. Do you remember? Oh no, you weren't there. But we meant it. Not like people nowadays, just living together. Where's the commitment?
Mum, you know, John and I...
And whatever you say, it's not the same.
Oh, here's the it's not the same. Silly.
Well, you know it isn't.
You just want to be able to tell your friends, to show off the photos. You made Richard's pictures last for weeks.
That was lovely, but it's not the same with a boy.
Mum, I'm not like one of Dad's golf trophies for you to show off to the lunch club.
You know, I only want the best for you. I just think you'd be happier.
I think I know enough.
Anyway, Mum, we need to talk to you.
But it can wait.
What's the point of waiting?
I used to think,
Yes,
I used to think that you two would grow out of squabbling when one of you left home or got married.
You've a hope, Mum. It's an ingrained behaviour. We're born to disagree.
That's not true.
Anyway, you were going to tell me something.
Mum, they've allocated you a place.
Oh, well, why didn't you say so earlier? Oh, that's wonderful. When can I move? That's wonderful news. Now, I need to get my things together. Now, Richard, my case is in the loft. Now, there are lots of cobwebs up there. I hope you'll be able to get up there. And I need to get my clothes together. Sarah, do you think... I think I should wear the black and white jacket. Dad always likes me in that.
Mum,
Yes,
Mum,
yeah.
Mum, they've allocated you a place in a home, but it's the wrong home.
The wrong home?
Avondale. You know the one near the garden centre?
Where Auntie Marjorie was? I can't go there. How would I get to see Ernie?
I told you she wouldn't accept it.
I can't get to see Ernie from here. So how can I get to Avondale from there? I can't be in a different home.
Mum, it's what they're offering you.
I can't... I'll stay here. I'll stay just sitting. I need to be with Ernie. That's where I need to be.
God, now you're getting militant. Mum, you can't stay just sitting in your own home. Who's going to notice?
It won't just be me. I've got friends. The lunch club will join in, and Sarah will help me, won't you, Sarah?
sit-in. Not here. Lunch club, social services. Oh, let's see.
In a major speech today, the Prime Minister, David Cameron, criticised human rights legislation. When the Human Rights Act was implemented in 2000, it was intended to bring human rights home. Bringing rights home would enable British citizens to seek protection in the courts rather than having to go to the court in Strasbourg. But instead, the Prime Minister claimed the Human Rights Act has made it harder to protect our security and has done little to protect some of our liberties. Mr. Cameron concluded that it is wrong to undermine public safety by allowing highly dangerous criminals and terrorists to trump the right of the people of Britain to live in security and peace.
I found something.
Sarah, when's your mum moving into Avondale?
She isn't.
Oh. I'm sorry. I worked hard to get her a place there. I know her mobility's a problem. She was desperate to be in a home, like her husband, with her husband.
Yes, with her husband.
Well, I managed the home bit, but the with her husband bit, that was going too far.
I found something.
So you said.
She has rights. Mum has rights.
Of course she has.
Human rights.
Well, Avondale may not be perfect, but you can be sure they won't be torturing her there.
I'm not talking about torture.
And there's nothing to stop her complaining if she's unhappy. So, she has her right to freedom of expression.
I'm talking about her right to family life. I looked it up on the internet. When I told Mum that she has human rights, she just laughed and said human rights are for criminals and terrorists. But I told her the local authority has a duty. That's what I told her. A duty to respect your right to private and family life.
But she doesn't fit the criteria for Sunset Home.
That's the point. Your decision should be based on them as people, not on your criteria or bureaucracy. You have to take their particular situation into account. My dad can't communicate. My mum's the only one who understands him. They have a right to be together.
I don't know. They've got their criteria.
Shouting slogans.
We have a right to demonstrate.
So why I let myself get talked into this?
You didn't have to.
Against my better judgment.
But it's her right.
I knew this was a bad idea.
You're just worried she won't get into a home.
Of course I'm worried.
What do we want?
You'd be stuck with her. You and your lovely Louise might lower the tone.
What tone? What are you talking about?
Dinner parties, the soirees. With Mum chattering away at one end of the table in estuary English. It wouldn't really work.
What about you? Would you and John really want her sharing your bohemian lifestyle? Can you imagine passing a joint to her?
If Mum doesn't get into Dad's home, she'd be welcome to stay with us.
Yes, but for how long? What happens when she needs help with washing in the toilet? You'd be off to occupy the bloody city before you did any of that.
And you'd be in the city, making a mint.
Oh, so it's about money, is it?
Well, it would help. Make things easier for Mum.
I give them money.
Human rights.
Of course I do.
How much?
What do we want?
That's-
human rights.
That's my business.
Exploitation, that's your business.
You can't tell me off for not giving Mum and Dad enough money, then tell me off for how I earn it.
I just think that if you could... Oh, come on, time to hand in the petition.
Here you are.
Tell her how many signatures.
Oh yes, 143 signatures. The lunch club, the church, Sarah's drama group, and Mrs. Smith from next door.
Well, I'm not sure.
You have to accept a petition.
Oh,
It says Mum has a right to be with her husband, a human right. You can't just ignore it.
no, I suppose not.
We just think it makes economic sense to reconsider.
Well, maybe.
So you look at things again?
I imagine...
Well, it's not like you have a choice.
Well-
You have a duty under the law.
I'm sure you're very busy.
Well, actually...
Thank you for your time. Well, you've botched any chance Mum had of getting into Avondale now.
I don't
But
want
you
to
didn't
get
want to
into
go to
Avondale.
Avondale.
But what happens when you can't manage anymore on your own? I'm not sure Sarah and I are in a position to take you in.
I don't want to be taken in. I'm not a parcel. Anyway, I'm going to Sunset to live with Ernie.
Of course you are.
Yes, here we are. Together again at last. Ah, I thought this day would never come. You wouldn't believe how excited I was to get the letter, and relieved. Although I knew social services would have to see sense in the end. Now, I put all your clothes on the left-hand side of the wardrobe, and all mine on the right. Now yours were in a bit of a state, but I've refolded all your jumpers, and I brought you one of your trophies. Now this is the one where it's well anyway, it's the one you like the best, isn't it? Here we are, dear. Here we are. Here are your glasses.
Radical cleric Abu Qatada has arrived home after a UK court approved his appeal against deportation to Jordan. This follows the European Court of Human Rights ruling that the preacher would not get a fair trial.
Europe, Europe, Europe. Hear that, darling? Brussels is taking over the world. Why did we fight the war just to have the Germans tell us what to do? Yes, darling. Bloody human rights.